Welcome to my anti-Talim lab guide. This video will be teaching you how to properly lab against Talim stance switches. There's a lot of them. I'll be doing this from Sophie's perspective because you probably won't be playing Talim to lab against Talim. And I don't know Sophie that well, so this will be an experience for me as well. We're going to start off by doing a button that I already know the solution to. I'm going to show you how to set up everything up. And then we're going to move on to another button, and I'm going to kind of figure it out as I go, because I don't know what the solutions are. So let's just get into the setup process. First, you just want to go to record. For this example, we're going to use full crouch 3BB. For recording 1, I usually set it to Winsalt A plus B. Important thing to note here is when you do Winsalt A plus, after you hit the forward on this to do the Winsalt, you're going to hold backwards because Talim has two different distances for Winsalt, and she usually wants to do the one that keeps her closest. So you want to hold back and then do A plus B. And then just hold guard for a second. This one will be Wind Leap, which will go backwards. And then we're going to do Wind Charmer A. All of these are our fastest options. If at any point you're using a high crush move as a tester, you're going to want to use Wind Charmer K instead of A. It's a couple frames slower, but just want to be sure that the options work no matter what. And once you have all those set up, you would want to work backwards from here. So we're using full crouch 3BB as an example. The move is -16 on the first hit, -22 on the second hit, and stance cancelable on that hit. So you would generally work, ideally you want to find a button which solves all of the problems. So you would work from -16 backwards. So you would look for Sophie's 16 or faster moves. In this instance, I already know the solution is going to be BB, which solves every single problem. But when you're trying to figure out how to properly lab it, I usually start with Wind Leap because this one moves furthest back, and you want to know which one of your moves can actually go far enough to hit her when she does this. So this is where you usually start. We'll be going into more detail on how to actually start labbing it more in detail, but this is just going to show ideal solutions. So once you got everything set up, just go to Actions, Play Recording, Random, and then Talim's going to start going crazy. And to just block each attack, and then just press the button. This will slowly diagnose what this beats and what this doesn't. Now as you can see, it beats every single option that Talim can do. Doesn't matter the distance of the move, it's going to be able to hit it no matter what. It's not an amazing amount of damage, this isn't the best solution. You can get much higher damage individual options. For instance, if you know she's going to go for Wind Leap, you can do 6-6B and things like that. Generally speaking, most buttons will solve probably 2 of her stance switch options, but not everything. But yeah, this is an example of how you can completely destroy at least that button with just one button. So all you Sophie players out there, I just did the lab work for you. BB will solve everything after that button, so if you ever block that button, just know you can just hit BB and you're going to be good. Alright, now we're going to be labbing a different button. This is going to be completely off the cuff, and let's see what kind of solutions I can find. I've loosely labbed this, and I have some ideas of what I think Sophie's best buttons would be to punish everything, but I don't know for sure, so we're going to be going through it. And as a Talim player, I'll be able to diagnose what I would do as a Talim as just for solutions for myself. One of the reasons I picked this stage is because 6BB will actually hit mostly max range from round start, which will be useful because max range versus close range will determine whether something hits or whiffs, especially when she uses Wind Leap back, as you saw. Now let's start this off with BB, which we used for our last button. So I'm just going to put it so she just starts attacking all over the place. And we'll see just what BB solves and what it doesn't. Still beats Wind Charmer. Does not hit Wind Leap. I am fairly certain it's going to hit. Yes, okay. So it doesn't hit Wind Leap. Now, as a Sophie, you might be like, well, that's fine. You know, I'm getting all the stances that are really going to harass me, I'm getting out of the way. But as a Talim player, this would be ideal. This would be ideal. And the reason for that is pretty simple. Because I would do this. This is exactly what I would do. Oops. If you ever whiffed a button. When she's Wind Leaping, this is what Talim players are looking for. They either want you to not chase them down, or they want to see you whiff something because you don't know the punish. And if you do a high, they'll probably do Wind Fury K, and if you whiff just like that, they're going to blow you up with that. So, ideally, as I said at the beginning, I like to work from this button backwards. Because this is the most important button to punish, because this is the one that most Talims are going to go for on block as kind of like, well, they blocked it, I better just get out of here. Talims think the distance makes them safe, when in reality they're making themselves more unsafe. The button itself is -16, so what does Sophie even get? She gets a stab. Speaking of stab, this is one thing I did know. As a Sophie player, I'm sure a lot of Sophies would immediately go to the stab. Well, they're negative, I want to stab some people. But stab is actually the worst solution. This is especially true, and I should actually probably set this to Wind Charmer K anyway. Oops. Ooh, actually hit. Yeah, this is a really bad solution. This loses to literally everything. And my prior labbing, pretty sure Wind Charmer will... she'll ever frickin' do it. Yeah, it lethals. So, absolutely the worst option is what most Sophies would probably go to first. So that's probably why some Sophies get a little frustrated when dealing with Talim. So let's go back to Wind Fury / Wind Leap and figure out what buttons reach. 6-6A is a good option. Now, we would generally want to work from -16 back. So, I don't think that's going to reach. That seems like a decent option. Twin Angel Step. Not sure what the actual startup is because while it is the same startup as the regular stab, the time it takes to go into it probably not ideal for punishing the move itself, but let's actually look. Sophie main, I am not. I would wager that's not possible to do from a frame perspective. That's at least 2 different inputs the game has to register, so I would say probably not. So that's out of the question. It would still work as a punish for Wind Leap, and it probably works against... yeah, I mean, that works. So that solves 2. I imagine this might go under. Yeah, this should go under as well. Ooh. Maybe not. Seems like it does, but you gotta delay the second one just a little bit. And I imagine from max distance this probably doesn't work very well. Let's do it from here. Yeah. This is an option, but this isn't really going to cover anything in an ideal way. And as I already pointed out earlier, if you're trying to hard punish Wind Fury, 6BB is your best bet. And I'm pretty sure 6BB loses to everything else. Kind of a pain if they launch like that. Oops. I think it'll trade with Wind Charmer K. Definitely loses to Insult. And the RNG on this sucks. Oh my god! You know what? If you're gonna be like that, I'm just gonna do it manually. Jesus. I'm pretty sure this trades. God damn it. Yeah, it trades. Which means it's going to lose to Wind Charmer A. So, not ideal. Now, am I labbing with this? Let's start with an example I think solves a lot of problems, but not all of them. Because there's a couple solutions that I kind of have in mind. Now, at this point, I feel like, as a whole, BK is an option. Looks like. From close range, BK might be decent, because she at least has to block it if she wind leaps. Which means she won't be able to blow you up. Because the second hits him. Oh, it's a high. No, she could probably do... She could probably do... Because this definitely wouldn't work from a far distance either. Against Wind Fury. What am I doing? They really need to make a better menu. This probably wouldn't work even at max distance against... Because she has to block it there, but I bet from max distance she wouldn't. And since that's a high... That'll probably work. Oh no. Okay. So BK is an okay option. She actually gets hit out of the startup. Okay. Yeah, that's probably an okay solution. Not great damage or anything, but I mean it works. Okay. Other moves I want to test would be 3A. Seems like it would be a good normal. Seems to reach, goes under. Yep. Hits everything for max range. Still goes under. Does it catch wind? Nope. So that's not great because she's gonna get blown up if she does that. On top of that, I do know this is a quirk. If I changed... Since she's going under me, if I was a Talim trying to figure out if I saw a Sophie continue doing 3A and going under me, I might actually start doing this. Which, now, if she does 3A, she's gonna get blown up for it. That's a pretty hard read. I still think 3A is a decent solution, but 3A doesn't punish Talim for just doing this move raw. So she could probably just punish you. But it's only -14, and I don't think Talim could punish the pushback on this very well. So at best, you're going to eat like an AA or a, I don't know, standing K. not the worst thing, and this solves most of her stances. It doesn't solve Wind Salt, but it does go under it. Not a bad solution. I think the better solution is going to be 6-6A, which I'm pretty sure is going to have the same results, but better. What are you doing? Yep. Well, 36 damage is actually not bad. So it blows up Wind Charmer. Alright, we know that. God, the RNG on this is just the worst. There we go, it does go under. And it catches that even from max distance. Yep. Alright, so this is a really good solution. Downside, if Talim doesn't cancel into a stance, you're going to get punished at a -12. But that's a very good risk reward on your part. Talim can't punish that very hard at all. So this is a good option. Now, in my prior testing, there is a better option, but it's really finicky. So this is a solution I would probably recommend for most Sophies. For this button, this seems to work. It doesn't punish Wind Salt, and I don't think the solution of 6-6A moves her forward pretty far, so I would wager this won't work. Yeah, so no solution on Talim's part from this, other than don't press a button. Don't do a stance switch. So that's a good solution. I do think there's a better solution, but I think it's execution required, and that's, what is it, Twin Angel Step AA? And I'm pretty sure it's only from close ranges. But this, strangely, if I can do it. Yeah. So I'll beat Wind Charmer, and I think it catches. It goes under Wind Salt. That's a lot of damage. But it didn't go under Wind Salt. It actually punished it. It really kind of annoyed me when I saw it. Let's try it from... Since this isn't... The RNG is just being absolutely dreadful right now. So let's just do it specifically Wind Fury. Oops. And we want to do this instantly because the instant version is what's going to beat the Wind Charmer one as well. It doesn't quite reach. Kind of awkward, but still seems like a decent solution. Especially if you could... Still seems like a decent solution. I think if you delay this even just a tiny bit, it probably would still be... Yeah. Not something you would want to do from max range, though. I doubt this will reach from max range. You have to do that version. Which works against Wind Charmer as well, because the counter hit's going to trigger. But against this is what confused me. Because I tried this one earlier, and it was beating. Yeah, fucking beats it. That's fucking bullshit. That's horrible. Why is that beating it? That's stupid. That's dumb. Fuck Sophie. So you're either gonna go under it, depending on your execution on this. This is the execution man's solution to this problem. You know what it is? I think it's if you delay. This is awkward. So this seems like a decent solution, but not the best solution. Definitely hard punishes Wind Charmer. Does decent damage against Wind Fury if you can catch it. This is probably what I would go for if I was comfortable in the matchup and reacting to things on time, and I was up close. Not something you're gonna want to use from far away because it's gonna whiff. Yeah, I mean that seems like a decent option. That seems like a decent option, honestly. Does Sophie's super punish everything? Critical edge, excuse me. I mean, I know it's gonna hit that. I don't think this will reach. Nope. So super's out. Probably will punish Wind Charmer. Or it punishes Wind Charmer. Probably. Okay. That's two options, and let's just start up on her super. 20. It's not 20. It's a lie. Right? Huh. Oh, what am I doing? I'm trying to super. That's a punish. I don't know how fast it is. Isn't it like a... It's gotta be 12 or 14. It definitely punishes the move, though. So I think that's generally it. I mean, I would definitely say 6-6A is probably the best solution. Now, if you're looking for, like, hard punishes against individual things, again, like, you can react to Wind Leap and get damage off of it. And this is the one you really want to be blowing up, because Talims will use this move all the time. But, yeah, my general solution, DK is okay from up close. From further distances, you're probably going to want to do 6-6A. You're leaving yourself negative if she just blocks it, but that's not the worst thing in the world. 6-6A is only -12, so... And a pushback against Talim, she's going to get a standing K on you at best. So what is that, like 14 damage? 12 damage? Definitely in your favor. So, as a Sophie player, 6-6A is probably the button I recommend. TAS-A also can work. Technically beats everything if you do it properly at close range for the most part. So yeah, that's not that bad. I'm sure I'm missing options. Again, I'm not a Sophie player, but those are the ones that I would go for. Those are the ones I've looked at. I think going any more on it would just be kind of redundant at this point. Because, you know, I could look at everything, but it seems unnecessary. And that works. But, yeah. So this is generally how you lab Talim. This is my live rendition of it. Hopefully it was at least somewhat informative, if not a little bit boring. But this is generally how you go about it. Now these solutions aren't necessarily going to work against every other button, as we showcased just by looking at this button. So you're going to have to lab each individual one. Obviously you don't really have to lab the ones where she's plus on block, because she's going to be plus on block anyway. That said, if she ever Wind Leaps, it doesn't matter if she's plus, she's still going to make herself negative by doing so, so do keep that in mind. A lot of Talims try and get away with absolute murder by stance switching, and you really want to make them start confirming their stances and just blow them up for doing this, because there are some Talims that just go absolutely insane with this, and they don't deserve to win. They don't deserve to be winning. And they make me ashamed as another Talim player, because even I stance switch too much, but I generally try and do it when it is necessary. I mean, a lot of Talims will stance switch on block even when they're doing a move that can't be punished, like 6-6A. They just do it because they see the distance that Wind Leap puts them, and they think that's good distance. They're just trying to steal their turn back, hope that you whiff something so they can punish it. They're trying to be scumbags. It's a gimmick. Don't fall for the gimmicks. It's not that hard. Just lab it, and you'll be good. So hopefully this is at least mildly helpful. It's entertaining, maybe, for people who like lab work, I guess, but don't actually want to do it themselves. But this is generally how I'd go about labbing each individual move. I've already done this for like everything that Talim can do against another Talim. And every character is not going to have a solution for every single thing. At best, I would shoot for something that solves 3 of the problems. You generally just want to get the risk-reward in your favor. That's the most important thing. And mix it up, you know? Use 66A as the safe option, because at worst you're getting hit with a K from Talim. That's not bad. And then use that to find out throughout the match what the Talim has a tendency to stance switch into. And if you start seeing her going for other options, then you need to figure out the hard punishes to that option and really blow the Talim up and scare her until she just stops doing them altogether. And then you're just facing another character who lost a big part of her move list. So that would be my solution. Obviously, I'm not going to go through everything. I'm sure Sophie's got some sort of hard punish she can do against wind salts and things like that. I actually don't know if she has any really good attacks against aerial opponents, but I'm sure she's got something that other players, Sophie mains, probably know. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't really think I have anything else to say. Hopefully this is mildly useful. Goodbye.